Luka Doncic, who is celebrating a birthday. They won 5 in a row. We'll take on the Clips again on Sunday. Luka celebrating a big birthday, visiting with George Sedano.
Luka, a win for your birthday. How did you guys get it done?
Yeah, it was obviously a tough game, especially on back-to-backs, always tough. But Clippers are a great team. Rui didn't play. AR got hurt, so it was tough for us, but that shows what team we are.
How are you guys able to manage with Austin and, of course, Rui not available to begin the game?
His next player up mentality. Everybody has on the court, gave something, so everybody fought on the court.
How comfortable are you getting now after the games that you've played?
Yeah, I mean, today was a little bit better. There's still a lot of room left for me, the way I know how to play basketball. But like I always say, day by day it gets better slowly, and the win is important.
What are the plans for the birthday? 26 years old.
I don't know, probably just sleep. I'm tired back-to-back. I haven't played back-to-backs in a long time, man. It's different.
Well, enjoy it, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, SVP.
You're 26 and you're in the City of Angels, my man. Find something good to do. Luka's dominance of the Clippers continuing as he scores 31 Friday. Averages 32 a game against the Clips in his career, the fourth most of any player against any opponent. The others, Jordan against the Blazers, Suns, and Jazz. Lakers by 4 knock off the Clippers. They'll play again on Sunday. Kendrick Perkins is going to be here to break down that game and the showdown between the top 2 teams in the East, which was insane. Some big news in the National Football League as well. Matthew Stafford, after being courted by others, is going to stay right where he is in L.A. What that can mean for the rest of the teams in need of a quarterback. But first, we will get right back to Los Angeles, where LeBron James joins us. LeBron and Scott Van Pelt, and I think this is history, man. I believe this is the first time you've been on with me where you didn't have a cigar in one hand and a Larry O'Brien in another. So given that it's just a Friday night in February, I appreciate you taking a minute, man. You all right? You got run into there. You're good?
Man, long time, man. Long time, Scott. So it's always good to hear your voice, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. Always a pleasure talking to you.
I appreciate that as well. Everything's cool. You got run into there late. You're all right, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It was a tough back-to-back for us tonight, so we was able to get it done versus a tough Clippers team. Last night we had a tough Minnesota team, but it's good basketball we're playing right now, so we want to hopefully continue it.
All right, so we've all gotten past I'll be damned, Luka plays for the Lakers, and you guys have got some runway now to figure out what you've got. And you've been through this a ton through the years in many different variations with different squads. What's the process, Bron, of now till the playoffs to sort out what you are so that you can be a championship team come June?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, Scott, there's not many days where you have practice. So, it's a dress rehearsal every time we hit the floor, every time we're in film session, shoot-arounds, we hit the road, whatever the case may be. We have to understand that we don't have much time, but when we're on the floor, we have to figure it out on the fly. And I think that's what we've been doing lately. We've been figuring out on the fly, trying to get better and better as Luka continued to get his rhythm back after he came, it's only like, 6, 7 games. I think tonight was his 10th game with us, possibly. Him coming back from that calf injury that kept him out since Christmas. So, we got to continue to work our habits, and if we do that, we'll be fine.
It dawned on me when I was told perhaps we would talk tonight that 100 years ago it felt like you and I did this commercial, right? And at that time, Bron, I'm about 40, all right? Now, when I got to be 40, that was around the time I thought, I don't know if I can still dunk and not hurt myself, and I couldn't do certain things that I could do as a younger man. That clearly has not happened to you. I'm really sincerely interested in what the process is, Bron, at this stage. Rest and recovery, nutrition, sleep. I'm serious. Like, what has to happen for you to be what you are still?
No, everything. I mean, you just said it, Scott. Everything in the above, man. Nutrition, sleep, making sure I take care of my body, cold tubs, hot tubs, whatever's out there to continue to try to rejuvenate my body and get my body prepared to go out and play every night. I love the game, and I'm in a position where I can continue to play at a high level even at my later stage. So, and I think the chair that you allowed me to steal from you in that first commercial, I think that's helped a lot, too.
I bet it did. Hey, look, I tried to get it. They claimed that it's gone. It's probably in your house. You know what? It's got your name on it. We'll let you hold on to it. But
Man, I appreciate that, Scott.
No doubt. So that was a long time ago, and the world's different now, right? The world 18 years ago didn't have podcasts and social media and the chatter that fuels the game. And look, I think we all saw the comments you had to say today about the game, and I'm just interested in this sincerely. What matters about the conversation that surrounds your game to you and the stars in the league? What about it is significant? Because I try to dismiss it as it relates to us, but I'm not you all. What matters to you?
Yeah. What matters to me when it comes to my generation and the younger generation that's in our league now is that, I mean, we play it for the love of the game. You know, we're not out here cheating the game. You know, we putting the grind in. We putting the time in. You know, we've always, gave up and gave props to the generation that came before us. Always bigged them up because we know without them it would not have been us. And we're just trying to carry on tradition. You know, my generation, me, Steph, KD, Russ, James, Kawhi, the rest of our crew. And then we got the younger generation that's doing their thing as well. So, we love what we do. And it's a responsibility for all of us to continue to press the game, push the game in a positive factor for all our fans all over America and all over the world, because it's the best, most beautiful game in the world. When you watch basketball, you're basically listening to music. You're listening to jazz music, R&B music, rap music, hard, heavy metal music, everything essential with that. So, it's a beautiful game. We're all in a position to play this game, and we're here for a reason. But, we don't never take it for granted. So I hope everybody see that when we hit the floor.
Right on. I wanted you to be able to say that to those that I know have an appetite for what it is you have to say. Also, I know you're sweating and it's time to go. It's a pleasure to cross paths, man. I hope we don't have to wait so long to do it again, all right? You stay well until next time.
Man, absolutely, SVP. Always good talking to you, my brother.
I appreciate it. LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen. Lakers get the victory by 4, and he was mentioning music. Pretty sweet music for them in February. A whole bunch of dubs on there, and they wrap it up with back-to-back at home against Minnesota and the Clippers, a team they will take on again on Sunday. Same building, different uniforms. What a game in Boston. Best record in the NBA belongs to Cleveland. Boston, of course, the reigning champion. So this is good. A lot to like. There's a lot to like, man. Perk. I see you shaking your head. What's that all about?
Scott, it's a lot to love, man. It's a lot to love. And look, I ain't gonna lie. I was the one that was waiting to see what J.J. Redick was going to do this year as a head coach. And it has been a wonderful thing to witness. Right now, in my opinion, he should be the front runner to win Coach of the Year. J.J. Redick has been in his bag like he has fries at the bottom. And it's not just offensive sets. Scott, it's not just offensive sets. It's the defense. Since January 15th, the Lakers have the best defense in the entire NBA. And what J.J. Redick is challenging his opponents to do is to make three-point shots. We saw last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they couldn't hit shots. They shot 12 for 41 from the three. Tonight, I believe the Clippers shot 9 for like 27 or something to that nature. And what JJ has done, got the ears, got the attention of this locker room. We're talking about a team that came in on a back-to-back, didn't have one of their key guys in Rui Hachimura. Austin Reeves went out at halftime, and all of a sudden they dug deep to get a win against a Clippers team who actually needed this win because Golden State are on their heels. Impressive all across the board.
When it comes to LeBron, it reminds me so much of Tiger, a guy who I covered my whole career. At some point, you run out. Like, I don't know what there else is to say about the dude. But, I mean, we were joking with him. I'm not even kidding. I'm saying, look, at 40, I stopped being able to do stuff. What is the man done this season that most impresses you, Perk? For me, it's the long list, but for most impresses you.
Scott, you do realize that LeBron James and I played on the same AAU team. You do realize that LeBron James and I were in the McDonald's All-American game together.
Now look at you, Perk. You're trying to get those fries at the bottom of the bag, and he's still out there playing, man.
Yeah, I just started my second career, and he's still going strong, still a top 5 player in today's game, still out here doing what he needs to do at the highest level. And that's the scary part about it, because everybody was wondering, can LeBron James and Luka coexist? And the answer is hell yeah. You know why? Because LeBron James has mastered his craft. He could play off the ball. If you want LeBron James to be a screen setter, he could do that. If you want him to be a diver and a screen roller to the basket, he does that at the highest level. And now you put him and Luka in a two-man game, and you got LeBron James rolling to the basket, he becomes the best secondary, primary decision maker in the NBA.
I'm still at the point, Perk, where several times a night I just say out loud, Luka plays on the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a crazy,
right.
It's just the craziest thing in the world to me. But look, everybody in the West is going to have to get ready for it because it's coming, and they get win number 37 tonight. Perk, it's cool to talk. I look forward to doing it. I hope in the playoffs I see you doing your thing everywhere. It's great to do it with you here tonight. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, legend. Thanks for having me on, SVP.
Indeed. There's Kendrick Perkins. From that big man to this big.
Happy birthday to Luka Doncic. It is his 26th birthday here. Yep, but there's going to be no California love between these two teams in this one. Shanae, when you look at the individual matchups, the Lakers have essentially been the best team in basketball over the last 20 games, but there are some matchups that could cause some issues here. What can LA prove in this one?
Well, they can prove whether or not their defense is sustainable. Since January 15th, I think they've had the best defense in the NBA, and since January 30th, they've been really holding opponents to not shooting the paint. Opponents have shot the second fewest amount of shots in the paint. Now, LeBron James averaged, 14 rebounds per game the last two, 11.5 the last four. Can he keep going, holding down this team that is really suffering without interior size? Can their defense hold up against Zubats? That's the big question. Now, I know a lot of people say, hey, they did against Jokic, but you're going to have to do it time and time again. How much energy can they keep up with defensively is my point.
To me, this game is all about the Clippers. This is a must-win for the Los Angeles Clippers. They're half a game up on Golden State from being in the play-in tournament, right? They're in the postseason right now. You're getting the Lakers coming off a back-to-back. LeBron James, both him and Luka had to play a lot of minutes last night.
And both are questionable
And both are questionable. No Rui Hachimura, so you should be able to impose your will. Big Zubac should have it his way down there. Ty Lue will have this team prepared, but this is a must-win situation for the must-win tonight for the Clippers.
I thank y'all. I really do from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative of what y'all said about the Clippers because I don't think about them much. I love Ty Lue. I know he's a phenomenal coach. I love the fact that Jeff Van Gundy has upgraded them defensively. And I know James Harden, very, very proud of him and what he's been doing. And Norman Powell, I'm a fan. I don't take the Clippers seriously unless I know Kawhi Leonard is going to be available, and I never, ever, ever assume he is going to be available when it counts. So that leads me to the Los Angeles Lakers, the number one team with defensive efficiency since January 15th. I'm looking at LeBron James in the fourth quarter, 11.2 points per game, first in the league, 60.6% shooting from the field, fourth in the league, total rebounds, 16, first in the league, 40 years of age, 22nd season in the league. Playing in the fourth quarter the way that he's playing, I'm paying attention to defense, and I'm paying attention to that because that tells me what I should expect from the Lakers moving forward. I'm not thinking about the Clippers much.
I'm thinking about the Clippers. Look, the Lakers have an opportunity to go to the NBA Finals.
Yes, they do.
When healthy and rested. But the Clippers could be that dark horse to everybody.
All right, so certainly there's a lot to unpack here, Stephen A. What do you make of all of this?
I thought he was full of it. I didn't appreciate his comments because I think that these players are not appreciating the fact that it is celebrated. They've heightened their level of sensitivity to the point where, you know what, they'll have an attitude if you got bad breath. It's really that bad. It's pathetic. And, you know, when you look at this show, when you look at the morning shows, when you look at NBA Today, when you look at Inside the NBA, when you look at a plethora of other shows at various other networks, there's a lot of time spent celebrating players and celebrating the game. Last time I checked, you're celebrating it by talking about it. If I sat up there and I said Magic Johnson got the better of Isaiah Thomas today, Isaiah got him back next week, how is that not celebrating the game? You're talking about great players. You're talking about a great game that has magnetized the world. This is a global iconic brand. How the hell did it get there? You had something to do with that, LeBron James. A whole bunch of players had something to do with that. But the people who talk about it and promote it and push it and illustrate it to the masses to make sure everybody knows about this product that we all find to be wonderful, that has made better lives for all of us up here and beyond, there's a level of appreciation. The level of appreciation that's somewhat been in question is that of the players. And I love how a player, the superstar that he is, pointed to everybody but them. Who didn't play in the All-Star Weekend? Who hasn't participated in the Slam Dunk Contest? Who started out this season, with everybody celebrating him and his son playing basketball together? All of that gets forgotten, huh? It's BS. It really, really is. I could say more. We don't have the time, and I'm not on the appropriate airwaves to say it how I want to say it. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm gonna stay to the face of the league. I believe we're at a point in time where it's not one particular guy that's going to be the face of the league, right? You remember Jordan was the face of the league, and then we forget after that it was done by committee, right? Kobe, Shaq, Dirk, KG, like it was done by committee, AI, and that's okay. I think we're back to this point again where it's going to be done collectively.
To me, with great power comes great responsibility, and I think that Anthony Edwards, he has the game to be the face of the league. 27 points per game, made more threes than Steph Curry so far this year, but big picture is maybe he's not ready for it. This is the same day we talk about him getting ejected. He's trying to make steps in his growth, so it's okay if it takes a bit of a while. LeBron James knows that better than
the
anybody
debate
else.
of it is celebrating the game because you're mentioning one name after another. Why would you be the face of the game if you're a scrub, if you don't resonate, if you're not great?
Greatness anoints who's next. I don't think anyone wins Steph Curry.
Well, we certainly had a statement game in the West last night in more ways than one. The New Look Lakers take care of the T-Wolves, their fourth straight win. LeBron has 33 points and 17 rebounds. And then afterwards was asked about how he's been the face of the league for 20 years and who is potentially next, like Anthony Edwards. Listen to what he said.
Why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody? And that responsibility, it's just weird. It's weird energy from the people that I don't know. But Channing, he said it. He said it perfectly. Couldn't say it no better. But Ant said he don't want it. Obviously I didn't ask for it, but I knew there was a responsibility for me. Not only to my family, my friends, my community, and whoever that was going to follow my journey throughout my career.
So, needless to say, those words prompted a very visceral reaction from across social media and from across some of our colleagues. I want to bring in Stephen A. Smith right now and just ask you what your take is on what LeBron just said there.
I thought he was full of it. I didn't like it at all. I thought that there was a level of culpability that he wasn't embracing in all of this. Last time I checked, LeBron James has a media company. Last time I remember, he's had a shop where he's talked about things. Last time I remember, he came into the league wearing number 23 and imitating Jordan's number and giving the impression that he was going to try to eclipse Jordan, inviting those comparisons. And then all of a sudden, when he was called upon to live up to it, anytime we pointed out what was diminishing or what was lacking, we were hating. And so these kind of things are the kind of things that I pay attention to. We're not going to sit up here and negate or neglect to mention the greatness of LeBron James, not just as a champion, a four-time champion, not just as a four-time league MVP, but one of the greatest ambassadors, not just basketball, but the history of sports has ever seen. But I think that when you associate the word weakness with LeBron James or any professional athlete, it usually comes associated with them trying to blame the media for some of the things that they cause, that are self-inflicted wounds that they don't want to accept responsibility for. And that's what I have a problem with more than anything else. Particularly when we look at today's NBA game, they lump social media in with media. We would never do some of the things that we see on social media. But these guys don't go out of their way to differentiate. They don't go out of their way to make sure that individuals within the media aren't specifically highlighted to be omitted from such a conversation so you could prevent them from being lumped in with everybody else. They go out of their way to sit up there and be disrespectful at times. Not all, not most. I'm just talking about a few, but everybody knows who the hell they are. Some are more honest and forthcoming and straightforward and they man up about it. Others are a bit duplicitous and they're two-faced and they hide behind others to make an argument for themselves. Y'all figure out who the hell I'm talking about when I talk about things like that. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Read between the lines a bit. We've got a battle for LA between the Lakers and the Clippers. That's the second part of our NBA doubleheader tonight.
In a game which began 25-3, as you saw, it is Cleveland who goes into Boston and comes all the way back to win. They outscore Boston by 24 in the final 20 minutes, which gives Boston a bit of a taste of its own medicine by dominating from long range. 22-point comeback, which is the largest this season for Kenny Atkinson's squad. Kendrick Perkins joins me now. And Perk, this Cleveland start is the best in its franchise's history. And Boston are the champs until someone takes the belt. They remain that. But I'm asking you, this 49-10 Cleveland team, do you believe they are as good as the record indicates they are and as good as the performance tonight says they are?
You know what, Scott, I do. I still have the Celtics pick to come out of the Eastern Conference. Got to remind the world that they were missing two key guys in Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. But I will say this was a brawl for it all, and this was the most important, impressive win of the Cavs season this season. And when I look at it, it was led by Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell did what superstars are supposed to do on the road when other superstars on the other team are going at him. He set the tone in the third quarter with that dunk right there, and then the rest was history. You know, the Celtics tried to switch Hauser. You know, they tried everything under the sun, but nothing could stop this man. And then all of a sudden, you saw the rest of the guys follow suit. We saw a guy like DeAndre Hunter that they picked up at the trade deadline come in and have some productive minutes. And then we also saw, Scott, Kenny Atkinson. I can't give him enough flowers on his in-game adjustments in this game, his lineups. It was a special thing to see, and this was a special win for the Cleveland Cavaliers psychologically.
I'm glad you gave the context of who's not in because, you know, if they meet up in the spring, I never loved what the season records were because there's no context. Were you on the fifth game in 7 days or a back-to-back? Who played, who didn't? But you made an important distinction there, psychologically. Cleveland is down by 1 million in this game, and they come back and win in that building. I have to believe that that matters regardless of who did or didn't play for Boston. You believe it did?
Oh, absolutely. And look, Scott, as we're getting closer to the postseason, we're about a month and a half away from the postseason starting.
Right.
You want to have confidence, especially when you're going against the defending champs. You want to know that you can beat them. And look, what the Cleveland Cavaliers proved today is that they proved that they could, you know, be down, still come together when it matters the most on the road and prevail to get a victory in a tough environment playing against the Celtics.
As for the Lakers, we just spoke with Bron about how they don't have a ton of time to practice. They got to figure out who they are kind of on the fly.